Hey everybody! Welcome back to the Gaming Lounge. I just realized, as usual, I forgot to tweet that we're going live in a few minutes. But today we've got Orange Boards with us and Runner. He's always here though. Hey Runner.
Always.
Runner?
Yeah, that's not very exciting. We have Ord's back, so that's awesome. Haven't seen him in a hot minute.
Yep.
That was a lot of lag there, bro.
Bro,
It was like you were catching up to us.
he decided to go back to his
because you guys
Kmart internet, I see.
Yeah, right. You went full robot.
Oh fuck! I remember those days. No, you
you're
guys were
right.
roboting through my end too. So
You should have gone with Pixelated Runner instead of Metal Runner.
Right, we're doing that on your end because your internet sucks. Kai looks just fine to me. So,
I mean, I bet he.
All right,
I bet he does, but I don't know.
We've got a few stories to cover. I'm gonna do one quick thing before we what's it called? Bring on our guest. He came on while the intro was playing. Actually, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick and get started. Do either of you play Pokemon Sword and Shield?
No.
I have Shield. I maybe played like I don't know a tiny bit of it.
Okie doke.
Bought it for the kids.
I could never get into anything Pokemon.
That explains a lot.
Damn it, Runner. You're the worst.
Look, I like red and blue.
I know.
Red, blue, and maybe gold. Like that's all I care about.
All right, well, if you're into red and blue Pokemons, Sword and Shield's pretty dope, actually. Ord's like, I've been playing it a little bit, like not as much as I'd like, and it's it feels like you're playing those old school Pokemon games, but it's in 3D, like the way you kind of always thought would be cool to see. Runner's gone. All right, I guess his internet was fucked up.
Well, yeah. Here's my thing. I kind of was a little miffed about the whole like. Pikachu, let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee. They were like, oh, these are what you played when you were a kid, just better. And then come to find out, no, you can't fight Pokemon, you only fight trainers, which is like waste of my time.
Okay, I hear you. Well, you can get a new special Charizard in Pokemon Sword and Shield for a few days. Could you read this for me real quick? I gotta go get the dog from outside.
I can't see that shit. Wait, hold on a sec. Where am I starting here? Okay,
there we go.
There. Oh, making me do this. What do you got to do? Oh, I hate you.
I'll be back in a second.
This is why I don't show up, guys. To see, this one is extremely simple and runs through the game's mystery gift system as spotted by no one cares there. The special Charizard is actually a global exhibition champion, rewarded honoring Leonardo Bombini. Bonami's loadout that was used in the event. To get, you'll load up the game, go to the mystery gifts, and enter the code Global Champ 2021, and you'll get the character immediately. Why can't every event be like this? GameStop distribution ties in where always annoying for people who didn't have any stores near them. But in the past year, this essential business has become even less essential for these types of events. Still, it manages to snag the deals from the jaws of defeat from Nintendo, both in the realm of things like this, and though exclusive. How do you? Whatever.
Exclusive amiibo offer.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, okay. There you go. I read it. This is why I don't show up to these things, because you make me work.
That's the important part. Pop this in your mystery gift thing if you're playing Sword and Shield, and get yourself a sexy Charizard. But today's a special day. We're not going through just articles and whatnot. Low spec Linux laptop. Apollo Patriot. Thanks for being here, guys. Runner is.
Hey, did you see? Did you see what Apollo said? Did you see what Apollo said?
Fully monetized now, maxed. Nice. Congratulations, Apollo Patriot. Everyone go check out Apollo. Way to go, man. Congrats on that. Gilf, man. Good to have you, brother.
What's up, Thomas?
Buenas tardes. So today we've got one of the developers from Back for Blood, from Turtle Rock Studios, a friend of mine. We went to college together. I actually ran into him randomly on an interview once, and that was pretty awesome. But it's good to hang out with him and have him on the show. Thanks for being here. Brad, welcome. Whoa,
hey.
You got a beard now.
Oh, what's going on, Brad? How you doing?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
Sound good, man. Sound good.
Right on. Good.
What's this? Has expired. I know what you're talking about. Feel you, Ords. All right. Welcome, Brad. How you doing, man?
Good. Can't complain. Just taking it easy right now. Actually, on a little bit of a break, and yeah, just relaxing. Lots of video
That
games
like
catching up.
Is it that like post launch break?
Yep, yeah, pretty
Games
much.
out.
Just one of those like, hey, congrats, thanks everybody. Take a week off.
Nice.
Totally.
Yeah, because even after you're done, like, you guys still have things to do, right? And there's still
Yeah.
still
Cranking away on DLC content and updates, of course, cleaning things up.
Oh, rock and roll, man. And of course, all that stuff we can't really talk about. We can't talk about what's coming, but we can talk about the game that's out. I'm still in the early parts, and so I haven't really tried to crank up the difficulty either.
Do you need to? Do you need to crank up the difficulty?
I mean, like, maybe you and I play shooters on a different level, Ords. I don't know.
Okay, look, I'm just gonna say for those in the chat, this game offers a lot of replay value in the sense of like the more people, at least from what I see, and obviously Brad here can elaborate on it more or correct me, but the more people you have in your party, the harder it is. And now I don't think this has anything to do with like how bad we are at video games, but we were doing a stream of it. It took us 8.5 hours to complete Act 3 and 4, and Act 4 being that one, that one stretch of the game. But it took us 8.5 hours to beat that, and which I like. I feel like games nowadays don't necessarily offer that challenge, because once you get to that point where you beat the game, the satisfaction is that much more. You know what I mean? It's like that 8.5 hours was like, after it was done, it was like, we did the calling, baby. So, but yeah, anyway.
I'm still in the first part of the game, so I haven't got
there see, you're sitting here talking shit to me, bro. Like I beat the game. I'm farming freaking points right now, bro.
Right on.
I've had Metroid Dread for 2 weeks, and I played the tutorial earlier this week. I've had Back 4 Blood for less time and played more of it. So, not to knock on Dread. Dread's dope, but like Back 4 Blood is definitely more in the vein of games I'm likely to just pick up and go,
Right on. Glad you guys are digging it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we'll talk about, I have questions and there's things I want to bring up, but as for like the game, I think a lot of criticism with the game at first was like, oh, this is just, this is like a less better Left 4 Dead. And I want people to understand something out there who may be skeptical of the game. Left 4 Dead's better. Well, Left 4 Dead set a precedence, right? Left 4 Dead, to me, changed the face of first-person shooter games, where it offered something more than just you and your friends battling another team. It was, working together to try to get through these waves of zombies. And Left 4 Dead obviously coming out at the height of the zombie craze. But I feel like as a fan of Left 4 Dead, we wanted another one. We wanted more. And obviously, I'm assuming from what I read and reported on, it's like copyright issues. There's things that made it difficult for you guys to use all those assets from Left 4 Dead. But I love the name Back 4 Blood, because in a sense, to me, it's almost like a fuck you to the people who didn't allow you to use those assets, right? Like, oh, you're going to tell us no? Well, guess what? We're pretty much going to do what we want to do and skirt that line. And hey, man, I'm always always want to stick it to the man, and I appreciate that. So
right on. Yeah. When the name was announced to the team, it was nothing but ha-has, and that's pretty exciting at the same time.
it's clever. It's like, why wasn't this thought of before? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not familiar with the story behind Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood. What's the connection there? That's what the fluffy blanket's for. Sorry.
Right.
They do this thing where they like scratch at the bed, but like it's just a thin blanket because it's been summertime, so it's not fluffy. There's nothing fluffy. And they're trying to like fluff it up.
That's right. You live in a warm state. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? It's freezing where I'm at right now.
Yeah, we're in California.
Yeah,
so I have this fluffy blanket
forever
here for them, but they want to be close. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't know the story there. So how did that go down, or what happened there that I'm not?
Yeah. Well, Turtle Rock in days of old, they were the ones that were actually working with Valve to make the first Left 4 Dead game. It was a pretty small team, and just to this day, Valve still owns all things Left 4 Dead, copyright or whatever. So since we're not a Valve studio, we don't actually get to make Left 4 Dead the next game. But yeah, it's been, yeah. So it's really just an IP thing. IPs are a crazy thing on their own. But we are allowed to totally make up our own new kind of world and franchise and setting and kind of stuff like that.
Which is like, again, what I love about it, that it really is like it is kind of an FU to the people who wouldn't allow you to make something you're passionate about. And I think in games today, we don't want people to make games that are just let's make a game to make money. It's passion behind it, and to know that you guys as a studio are passionate about that franchise Left 4 Dead, even though you're not allowed to work within that IP, you still want to bring that feeling and that passion that you brought to the original games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A grip of those original developers, still working with us today on the content today. Even the other weapons artist, the guy I directly work with, he did all the weapons on the original game, and it's constantly a lot of that, trying to bring back, trying to scratch that itch. But, then we had a lot of great folks to add all kinds of new things to the game to kind of bring it into today.
Yeah, I love the upgrading system that you get, the roguelike elements.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Man. Yeah, that had to grow on me personally. I had never played any sort of roguelite or roguelike game, so had to kind of figure out what that was. And actually, I think I kind of had some of the super kind of like the games like Dead Cells, but I never knew what they were and everything. To kind of see these kind of mechanics being brought into like a first-person shooter, trying to get that whole AAA thing down was really cool. But it totally continued to just grow, and everybody and pretty much everybody at the studio loves playing with the cards, and it's the replayability for sure.
Yeah, I think that same feeling transitions over to the people who are playing the game, because at least for me, when I played the beta and everything, the card system really wasn't. It was like, well, this is just an added thing to it. It's like, whatever. Like, do I really need to focus on the card thing? Once you dive into the game, you begin to see the possibilities of synergy with the cards. And like, I haven't really had a chance to sit down and think about how those cards work, because I'm not good at like building characters and like, RPGs and stuff. I love those games. I love those types of games, but I'm really bad at like understanding how the synergy works. Or we'll use like Magic the Gathering for an example. Like those cards, certain cards work with other cards certain ways. But once you get into the meat of the cards and you start unlocking these other cards that you're like, oh shit, I can have 2 primary weapons. Oh hell yeah, let's do that. And then you begin to see that. So I think I can share that sentiment where it's like, at first I was kind of like, oh, this is just, I just want to slay zombies. Now this is something that I got to actually think about. But when you realize how you're going to need those cards as you get into the higher tiers of things, you're like, okay, this makes a lot more sense. So yeah, I can relate to that for sure.
Yep, you're giving me deja vu through development. Same thing. I'm like, wait, we're not just doing a kind of a pick up and play fast paced shooter, like Left 4 Dead was. It's like now we're you get all these ideas mixed into it, and it's like wow at first, but yeah, wow, has it grown, and everyone's really excited with how it turned out. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a deck for everything.
All right, I think it surprised a lot of people, because there's a lot of people that I know that were like, well, I'm not going to spend the money, and $60 is kind of a big price point. And I think based on the beta, I think $40 me personally would have been a good price point. But now playing that game and seeing the replay, there are people who downloaded from the Xbox Game Pass who were like, yeah, whatever, it's free, I'll download it and play it, and who haven't put it down since. You know what I mean? So it's like,
totally. You
not only did you get your money's worth, the $15 you spent that month on the Game Pass, but you're getting a replayability to it, and it's going to encourage people. I can't wait to see what happens down the road. I mean, obviously, I've got my issues with the game, and I think everybody's going to want to critique it. But totally. I think as of right now, as of out the gate, I think it did surprise a lot of people, and I think a lot of people were like, oh, okay, I this makes a lot more sense. I get it now. I get it now.
Yeah, and the studio is super awesome. We're trying to read everything everybody says, and take a lot of it to heart, where we can and everything. And we really feel like we kind of landed on something pretty cool to build upon.
Yeah, I think it's a great foundation. Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. And ultimately, there's always going to be something to criticize about any game
Oh, yeah.
because especially
Yeah.
when it's closer to launch, because generally there's always unforeseen issues or issues that you're like, you know what, like we have it at 99%. This 1% is going to take an inordinate amount of time, and so pardon me. Welcome back, Runner. How you doing? You look way
Hey,
better,
what's going
by
on?
the way.
My
You're not
reset that Kmart router you got there, bud.
no, I just restarted the PC, but nice to meet you, Brad. Sorry,
No
sorry
worries.
that whole thing happened, but
Oh, you don't know
yeah.
my friend Brad? Come on, we go way back, like 10 minutes ago. Come on, man, where you been?
Hey,
I
Darius,
was
good to
listening
see
to
you.
you guys when you came in, so that's what I was
Right on.
doing when I was restarting my whole computer. I'm like, damn it. But no, I'm here. Yeah.
Let's say hi real
get
quick
to
to some of
this.
the people that have dropped in. Brightest Day, how
What's
you
up,
doing,
Brightest?
man?
Congrats on 500 subs,
So
by the way,
Brightest
brother.
Day.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
dude,
no
that's
shit.
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
Anyone who's not following Brightest Day, go check him out. I'm gonna leave his name on the screen for a second so you can check the spelling on that shit because it's a pain in the ass. But Brightest Day does readings of books. He's reading my book, Space Crime Domino, on Saturdays, I think. That's a lot of fun. I it feels really cool to like for me to watch someone like reading my book and have go through a thing.
I think
But
he's also
so,
been reading Dune and a Star Wars book, so yeah.
Yeah,
Cool
I saw
stuff
Star
he's
Wars
doing.
books. I didn't know he was reading Dune.
I can barely get through a comic book. How do you guys? I don't even get it, man. That's why I play video games, man. These guys set it all up so they say it to me right in the game. You see what I'm saying?
I like comic books, but I don't know, normal books. I don't know. They're just a pain in the ass. But
I wrote my book specifically for people like me who have trouble getting into books, like into fiction. Because some generally things take too long and the author's too explainy about shit. I'm like, fuck this guy. Get me to the shit I want to read. And so that's what I did. I got us to the shit I want to read. And so it hits the ground running and it goes from there.
I'd rather pay you to read it to me.
Check in with Brightest Day then.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brightest Day, how's it going? Soul Assassin, Sherry, welcome back.
Sherry.
But yeah.
So Runner, let me ask you this: Have you played Back for Blood at all?
No. I plan on getting it at some point whenever I have the time. It's just like I got college right now, and
$15 get you the Game Pass. You can download it right there, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Ords, if you want Runner to get it, like my book is $20. Well, he wanted the signed copy, so it's like 30, 40. That took him like Xbox 8 months to get around to buying. So he'll get Back for Blood next October.
Well, see, the thing is I actually have Game Pass, but I actually spent the $60 on the game because I was such a huge fan of the Left 4 Dead stuff that like I wanted to make sure that this game was supported in a way that, you know, I mean, obviously I know Microsoft, Xbox, you know, they're making sure you guys are getting paid out, I'm sure, but in the same sense, it's like that direct sale is gonna, I think, support it a little more than just like, you know, the Game Pass and stuff like that. Like, you know, just kind of being a cheerleader for it. Like,
no, I think I'll get it at some point. Just like right now, I got college going on, and I got hired recently for a new job, so you know I got all that stuff going on. But whenever I have the time and whatever, because I need to get like more.
Time is now.
Or Runner just got out of high school, man. Let's he buys things when he can. Just let him do his thing.
All right, I'll be nice. That's right. I got to remember, we got to be nice to Runner.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't care if you're nice to me or not, but like, no, because I've had my addiction to like physical media lately, so
why we like you, Runner.
I gotta like save my money for all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, for what you've been saying, Brad, so far from what I've heard, like, you know, you guys like to hear the feedback from everyone, like that shows a lot of respect towards the customers, and that's something a lot of studios need to learn from is stuff like that, and that's what's gonna get people to get the game. So, you know, you've already won me over just by that.
Right on. We got a great community team too that, you know, that's literally a lot of their job is to literally just contact and, you know, let us know the stuff we might miss and stuff. It's pretty cool to see them work and how they do it.
Yeah, and I think I think that's important to the simple fact, especially like okay, so for the beta, I had a buddy and we were streaming the beta and everything, but after the fact, we literally sat for like 4 hours and we tried to break the game. Like in the practice area where you can run out, like we would go through every weapon, we would shoot through sights, we would literally do everything we can to see, how aiming was or how this was or how that was. We just spent time, and then we would close the game, send a report, start the game back up, and every time there would be a report, we would try to do that.
Just sending those.
Yeah, just to.
Everybody
I mean, it's important, and again, this is how much because before this game came out, we were doing like Sunday hangs on my streams playing Left 4 Dead, and we were just having a blast. Like, we'll get to the other questions too, because mods, we would like switch on some of the mods for Left 4 Dead and just have fun with it. I think at one point we had like we were playing zombie Teletubbies with rainbow blood splatter, right? So like we could go through the levels and it'd just be a rainbow chaos everywhere. But then this is why we wanted to spend so much time, especially with the beta, playing this game, because I wanted this game to be good, right? So
totally.
Now, Kai, do you have any questions? Go ahead.
Real quick, I want to hit up the chat's questions because Low Spec is repeating himself. He asked this earlier, and I kind of forgot to come back to it in a timely manner, so he asked again. We're not really going to talk about what's upcoming in the game, but I think in terms of in a technical level, like it says this might be okay. But Brad, are there any plans to update Back 4 Blood to Linux, Proton, Wine, EAC? Hoping the Steam Deck will help nudge such things. There were several Linux folks streaming it in August before EAC implemented.
Right on.
Anything about that?
I mean, as an art monkey at the studio, no, I don't. I don't really talk to the networking. Those guys are above my pay grade. We just put pixels away and
but if in case you know kind of from hearing other people, why don't we go over that real quick for everyone? What did you do? What are you responsible for when we look at the game and are admiring things? What can we say? It's Brad right there.
To pretty much, I guess half of anything you can put in your hands in the first person perspective was kind of my general area. So, that includes most of the guns, any of the throwables, the grenades, props that you pick up and move around. Not all of them, but about half of them. So there was me and one other weapons artist in-house who come together to take care of a lot of that stuff. Guns. Right, I like to model the guns.
What was your favorite gun to model in the game?
That's really hard. Just some of the ones, some of the ones that I kind of have in my own personal collection. So it was really cool getting to kind of model a 1911, and have all the reference right in there in front of me with one at home or whatever. Same thing with, your kind of standard 870 shotgun. Just all these kind of cool guns that you've seen in a million games, but to finally kind of to throw one of mine into there and everything and get to kind of do it exactly how I'd want to do it with the guys of some cool art leads, making sure keeping it real. But just it's really tough. I had a lot of fun with all of them. Little sniper rifle action. It was fun modeling the big scopes and everything like that.
It's funny you say that, because I think in this game Back 4 Blood, as opposed to like Left 4 Dead with the snipers and stuff like that, these guns actually do some damage. They play a prevalent part in this game, I think. Whereas like Left 4 Dead, they were just kind of, you can get a sniper rifle and kill some shit off in the distance. But like with this, builds and certain things, the way you put your characters together with the decks, like they actually matter. Snipers actually matter when it comes to a team, especially towards the end of the game, Act 3, Act 4. More specifically, when you're running from the what are they? The big fucking guys. What are they called?
The ogres. Or some of
the ogres. Yes.
They throw the meatball.
Yes. So when you're trying to break all the pores or the spores or whatever it is, like snipers actually make a
Yep.
difference in this game. So
Yeah, you get someone that's a good shot with a sniper rifle, and they've got a great deck built around like weak spot damage and stuff
Yep.
like that. You can kill an ogre pretty dang fast.
well, and see that was
I
the
love
thing we.
sniping, so that's good to know in advance.
Oh yeah, no, Kai, if you love sniping, this game, like the snipers actually mean something in this game, and we honestly, like our strategy we came up with was don't even kill the ogres, break everything till it's the last one left on each part of that end level in 3, and then so do that, and then go through and break all of them, at once. So that way we're not respawning ogre after ogre after ogre, wasting ammo. So we were able to avoid the ogre, break everything, and then one final swoop, break everything else. So we're just kind of circling that map, dragging everything with us. And hey, we did it, man. We did it. So
What is this? Rainbow Chaos should be a stream.
that's what I was talking about, the mods on Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh.
And we would put the mods
The
on.
Teletubbies and shit.
We turn our we'd even turn our characters into like I think raptors. You could turn your character.
Yeah,
So
that was awesome.
Raptors killing Teletubbies with blood splatter, rainbow blood splatter.
The Teletubby shit that you were streaming.
Well, let's focus on
freaking killed me.
Let's focus on Back for Blood. Well, we got Brad here because we don't know how long we got Brad for.
Pretty much until my kid wakes up, and then it's gonna get loud, and I'll have to shut the camera down.
Okay, so it's
see,
kind of
it's
like a
little
Pop
place
Goes
in
the
back
Weasel
here.
kind of situation.
Pretty much. She went down right at 1, so I have hopefully at least another half hour.
All right, cool. But yeah, so let's keep it focused on that, and then we can go over
No
stories
worries.
and talk about other games and stuff after. But yeah, we appreciate your time, man.
Yeah. Sorry I
Alright.
couldn't answer too much of the technical stuff, but yeah, just I was an art monkey, and still it's a lot of fun working on it.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
Like when
Clean
I
it
get
too.
questions sometimes about different parts of like game development, people I'm like I design, I animate, I rig. Outside of that,
There's
I
a
know
lot that
nothing.
goes into it. I learn that
Which
more
is
and
why
more every
actually-
year.
that's why me as a designer, when I didn't know, or I had forgotten, I guess, or didn't know about the cards, and so I started playing the game, and the cards popped up. I was like, oh,
One of these
Nice.
card deck building. what?
okay. Mm.
I got a question about the whole thing. Like, so like what this
The whole
isn't so
thing?
much like a gaming thing. No. Not so much of a gaming thing, but like what kind of got you guys into like the zombie genre, and what kind of like what were you like your inspirations and stuff to this game?
Well, I mean, it's a return to the whole kind of zombie shooter thing for a lot of the OGs of the studio and everything like that. So everyone was super excited to be going back to what they've done in the past and what worked out really well. But on the art side, we took a lot of inspiration from cinema and games and stuff like that. Kind of just going through and cherry picking what you like the most and what you think might work with the lore of this new world you're trying to build, this new kind of story you're trying to tell, and why things are the way they are. A lot of that between Simon, our writer, and Phil Robb, our lead kind of creative director, art director. I think they fleshed out a pretty cool like chunk of the Pennsylvania back there.
I just asked because I like a good zombie flick here and there. And I was wondering if like that is like some of your inspirations with this game.
Yeah. I mean, I know they talked about 28 Days Later, that kind of stuff, and on the environment art side, if you pop around some of the forums and stuff, you'll see all kinds of fun little Easter eggs, referencing other zombie games or movies and stuff like that. So it's been cool just kind of just diving into that whole thing. And
I think it's great to see more of that, like the 28 days like zombie side of things, fast moving zombies.
Yeah, totally.
Aren't necessarily zombies, but they are, right?
Yeah.
It's just different takes on them, and because you don't want the same thing every time in a zombie flick, because it gets old. You want something different here and there, like some of it's like thriller, some of it's action. I personally like the action stuff, but it's stuff like that. Like you can't just make it the same thing. You got to change it up. Make the zombies stronger. Make them faster. What not.
Make them a lot bigger.
Exactly.
anything.
Let me ask you a question about the characters in the game, because I think a big part of the games before were how people enjoyed the personality of the characters, and I think going into this one, it's kind of the same thing where I think people kind of gravitate towards a character, they like the personality of that character, and they almost feel kind of connected to that character way, just like the old ones, because those characters have been carried over, or at least in the Left 4 Dead stuff, have been carried over to like Zombie Army and things like that. So going through like the development of the characters and stuff, was that your guys' mindset? Was it like, hey, we got to make these characters likable? Yeah, like tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a super big hand in much of that, but I know from what I can remember hearing, again, Simon and Phil talk about these things through development, is definitely try to make a group of pretty relatable people. Still, trying to get some of the fun little quips and stuff, get all that interaction between them, and I think they nailed that pretty much. I'm still hearing things, and I've played the game a lot. I'm still hearing things that surprise me, and like I don't even ever remember hearing that, and just laughing my ass off playing with randos at times.
Yeah, Hoffman's my
really
boy,
fun.
man. Hoffman's my boy. I love his shirts. He's got these little button-up shirts. He's like total dad, and like I relate to that character. So
he was my first kind of main for sure until I started kind of branching out and enjoying.
I need to branch out. Yeah, right on.
I'm on Carly nowadays. That hazard sense is just too good. I love it.
right on.
Where was I talking about the characters? But yeah, so just same thing. Just try to achieve that kind of relatable, but still likable everybody. And then, but the big thing I guess was trying to make these guys a little more less survivory and more fighty, more taking on the offense. These are the cleaners kind of going out, actually taking the fight and stuff like that. So you'll see that kind of in the way they look, and hopefully in kind of the stuff they say and stuff as well. Some of them, a lot of their like dialogue, they get pretty excited about fucking up zombies and stuff. So
I was gonna say there's a little bit of difference, I think, in the characters from previous and this one. Is like, these guys have a little bit more experience. They've kind of been through some shit, right? They kind of the cleaners are established when the game starts. It's not like like the zombie apocalypse has broken out, and now what do we do? It's like, now we've been dealing with this for a minute, and we're ready to
exactly.
We're tired of this. We're ready to end this, and whatever it takes to get to that point, let's go.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. Hopefully that comes across a bit.
I think so. I think it does.
Them up. Cool.
For sure.
I like that the zombies. It's like you were talking about 28 Days Later. How what's it called? They've kind of got like these worms, like in their eyes and stuff.
That's the whole thing that started it. Parasitic worm.
It makes sense to that they come together to create larger creatures, and so the mutated ones, like it feels more organic with the way the zombies function.
Yeah.
There wasn't really an explanation for it with the other ones,
Right on. Yeah, I mean, because there's kind of a bit more, I guess, in terms of with the variants and everything like that. There's more kind of slightly different dudes to shoot at and everything. So it was cool to see them talk about tying them all together. Stuff like with the ogre and the fact that the ogre is actually composed of a bunch of other, bodies. You look at his arms and there's people flailing around off of it, still shrieking, and that like horrifying shriek that is like that high pitched, but it's like this big monster, and so yeah, it was cool to see all that come together. You did a really good job. We had some really amazing concept artists that really kind of drove that that whole look in the beginning and just kept going with it.
It's a video, but it's a video game. Didn't catch the introduction. Oh, okay. So we're talking about Back 4 Blood. I thought about that actually while you guys were talking, so I put a little banner at the bottom. We're talking Back 4 Blood. It's a video game launched last month, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Orange has been playing it all month long, and
not as much as some people. I got like 50 something hours invested. Not as much as some people, but I think enough to understand what I like and what I don't like.
Yeah.
For sure,
not enough to be a hardcore gamer.
What's that, Metal? What'd you say, Runner?
I said not enough to be a hardcore gamer.
Oh, I'm fine with that, man. I'm 35 and got kids, bro.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
You're like, Metal, can't call them metal.
Yeah. It's just there's like a bad taste in my mouth. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to wash it down with this delicious drink.
Is it that good? I don't know. I don't know what
Do
it
y'all
is.
have
Better-
any development questions about it, or well, because actually I do about Brad. So Brad, you're modeling essentially everything that anyone's holding, which means that you're essentially creating the hero items, like the most upfront, detailed, version of an object that you're gonna see, as opposed to environment objects, which generally have like more limitations, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's the difference for you? And is there any do you feel any different making one or the other, or what's
Yeah,
your end of that?
well, personally, I've kind of done both on the production side of games. I actually started off as as an environment artist, working more on just the random things you see in the level, tables, chairs, buildings, and stuff like that. And yeah, totally. You don't always get to go as high a fidelity and stuff with your texture sizes or your tri count, poly count limits and stuff like that. So getting to work on guns and explosives and stuff like that. I'm allowed to kind of put some more fidelity into there, of course, because you want it to look good since it's right in front of your face. It was really cool. I've always kind of wanted to get into more of the first person stuff. So to be able to jump on as weapon artist was pretty fun. Kind of checking off one of those dream things. But
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of it's just the person too. I mean, there are plenty of people who would much rather do like environment art over first person weapons or something like that, just because that's their jam, and they like making some amazing beautiful spaces to walk around in for games and stuff like that, and they super shows with a lot of it. So
This game feels a lot more open than previous, right? Like I feel like there's more paths, there's more space to play around with, because I feel like in the last games you'd kind of get hung up on a few things, whereas this, I can jump up on stuff, I can move around, I can kite zombies certain ways, I can you have to think about the gameplay, but the field is wide enough that you can kind of pretty much almost go at anywhere and do what you want with it, at least in the sense of like we're trekking forward through this path, but the path is kind of open and I've got space to move around, so I like that.
Right on. Yeah, the level designers did a lot of really cool things. And I think a lot of like some of that, I don't know how much of it, but it comes with the new tools, the new engines. We can put more art into spaces with the way things are going. The consoles being beefier and stuff like that. Things don't have to be boring, empty warehouses in every corner of a video game anymore. We can really flesh things out and put lots of stuff in there. But exactly that in turn creates more spaces to move around. More verticality or whatever to a level where there might not have been before. So. It's fun.
And in particular, the stage where I think you have the houses that are connected with like bridges, utility bridges and stuff like that, where like if you fall down, you can have a space there, you can climb up, and then you have this. I mean, there really is like those different levels now. As a developer of like the guns and things like that, did you have a part in how the guns would play with the cards, or did you work with people in like, hey, I'm building this gun, how can we correlate the cards with the guns? Did you have any hand in that?
In a sense of from the discussion side, totally. The design team will already have an idea of kind of from the very get-go what kind of styles of guns they want to put in there. How many this type of SMG running guns do we want in there? How many kind of sniper rifles do we want? What kind of sniper rifles? So the fact that early on they come to me and they say, well, we want a big 50 cal sniper rifle, but we want it to reload really slowly. That's going to be one of the trade-offs for this one in this game. So then I have to go and I have to kind of decide help decide what gun that is going to be. Because, some 50 cal sniper rifles, you can actually fire very, very fast if it's a semi-auto gun. Whereas we chose a bolt action gun. So it's going to be a much slower kind of reload. Yeah.
Oh, so I know. That Barrett came in handy. That first stage, Act 4, when you've got the tentacles up there, and so I would sit in the back. I would sit in the back, and I would use that, but I would have the. I think it was like 20% ammo or reload speed or something like that, which worked out like gorgeously. But no, I was just curious because, like, I would think you guys have to work close proximity with each other, like. like you said, like, okay, so the animation has to be this. This is what we want. Make that happen. So
Yep.
that's cool. Man.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
it's just a lot of communication with the people who you're going to be working with directly, whether it comes to who's going to be animating the guns, what the design specs and game are going to be, and so.
Right on. Right on.
Good question.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's it called? So when you design the gun, you're designing the one that people are holding. Are you just doing like what's it called? I'm trying to ask here. Is that its own item, or like is it the same one that you pick up that's on the ground and then you pick it
Oh
up?
yeah.
That
I got
one?
you. I know what you mean. Yeah. It all stems from the same model. Yeah, this is like a good little kind of technical question, so it might get kind of boring in the discussion because now we're getting into
Sorry,
video game.
I was just wondering if it's an
LODs,
LOD
but
or if
it
I'm
is.
seeing your
It's
gun
exactly what it is.
on the
Yeah.
floor and then picking it up and holding it, or if that's a different prop made by someone else and then it transitions into what you made, you know?
Yeah, there's different pipelines and ways to kind of go about this, but ours is kind of straightforward and probably pretty most common. You know, we start by building the higher poly, you know, the gun that's going to be right in your face. We call it LOD 0, or like in
Alright.
you know, or the view model, the one that's going to be right there that gets the most pretty. But then for performance reasons, because this is a video game and not a pre-rendered movie, it's pretty high to dupe that gun multiple times in other person's hands or whatever. So you don't want the exact same
Yeah.
fidelity, tri-count, bigger textures on the one that's in your hand in third person. So we take the first person model that we have in hand and we start stripping it down, and we remove triangles and we remove some fidelity. And that's the one you're going to see in kind of third person when you're looking at other characters and you see guns in other characters' hands. You're just seeing kind of an optimized version of that first person version of the gun.
All right. So it all stems from what you and the other weapons guy made, and then it just gets reduced.
It gets kind of cleaned up, and we have to go back and remake normal maps and stuff, and just do all this fancy stuff to make sure it works and still looks good from each fidelity level, and nothing gets broken. You don't have like weird bends in metal that's supposed to be flat. There's all kinds of little things to fix once you start doing these LODs. It's kind of like no one really enjoys doing LODs. It's just busy work, but you got to do it because these are video games. And
it's technical limitations. Like if you want the stuff to look good, you need to go through that work to give yourself that range.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, since we're talking about that, I do want to kind of bring up, like, I've noticed, and I don't know much about bugs or how that works, but I have noticed sometimes when I'm playing the game, I'll come in and like I won't see the gun in my hand, right? Like I like it's just there, which I think is kind of like, you know, I want to see your work, right? So why can I see the gun? But I don't know if that's something you guys were aware of or something that has been talked about or whatnot. But sometimes that will happen, and it's like you got to just kind of like hope that you hit the thing, you know, because you're not having that gun. You don't realize how much it works for aiming when you actually have the gun in your hand and see. But is this something that's been brought up to you guys at all, or?
So it's like there's just no view model.
Yeah, I've got like right, not the whole run, and it'll usually like pop back in like once it like renders or something along. I'm guessing that's what it is. Again, you and Kai know more about the technical aspects of it. I'm just like from a player standpoint. Sometimes like when we start a level or something, or when somebody reses me or something, it'll pop up to where you don't see your beautiful work, and then it'll pop back in, you know, at some point. But it's not something that lasts through the whole level or anything.
Yeah, it sounds like some kind of small little buggy thing with Unreal that the game has to re-render it and bring it back in, and for various reasons. Yeah, that's someone else gets paid to fix stuff like that.
I was just curious.
Whenever I see that exact thing, I remember, you know, the first time like seeing it, I'm like, what the heck's going on? Like, is my game broken? And then like as I've played more games throughout the years, I'm just like used to it at this point. Like I should expect, you know, these little like tweak things to happen because you know, like because like games nowadays they get better once you like update them and all that stuff. So yeah.
Well, the other thing is sometimes it's like it's a specific issue with your graphics card, or like your graphics card needs to update, and or like you know, little things that cause bugs like that with games, and it can be hard to pin down what's causing it.
For sure.
From Frank the Bunny. Thanks for being here, Frank. Speaking of new capabilities, a little off-topic thoughts on VR. Is it anything you guys are interested in developing something for?
Oh, like for the
That's
Back for
something you can
Blood or
talk
something?
about.
Oh, I mean, not that I'm aware of or anything. This person may or may not, Frank may not have been aware of. Turtle Rock was actually doing quite a bit of VR right before this stuff. They released some stuff for the Oculus. We're working with like Facebook on doing Face Your Fears stuff. So these kind of just little VR experiences, and it was a cool little thing to kind of to work. I didn't actually. I was there. I was brought on, but never to the VR team. I was always kind of working on some other stuff. But there were a VR team there for a couple of years while I was still there. So it was really fun to kind of test that stuff. But for whatever reason, I don't exactly know why. Actually, we haven't been working on VR anymore. The big focus has been Back for Blood. So a lot of the people that were working on like VR stuff helped us out and came over and just did a great job. So it was a lot of fun to kind of see that stuff while it happened. But to my knowledge, I'm not sure if there's anything going on about VR in the future. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised, especially if it continues to become more popular, because we've done it before, so I'm sure it would be fun to do again.
I think it'd be great to like have a VR thing where like you said, you're designing the guns, like to hop into that world, right? And then pick up that gun, like almost literally pick up that gun that you designed. I think would be a lot of fun, man.
I believe it. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm a player of H3 VR on Steam. Actually, it's called Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades, and it's exactly what you just said. It's probably the most kind of realistic VR gun. I don't even want to call it a game. I call it a gun sim. I mean, you have to like read the directions on you can't fire the gun until you've racked the bolt correctly on this type of thing. So
that's cool.
It's insane. Yeah, the fidelity that they put into those made me think of that immediately. Man. Yeah, Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. I don't know how they named it, but I like it.
Hey man, it catches you. The name is catchy. I like it.
But yeah.
Steam does have its own VR set, right? So
it does.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, because I haven't played too much. Well, the only like VR game I played was Half-Life Alex, because I was visiting my cousin, and she had a system, with her Steam or whatnot, and yeah, it was freaking awesome. And I think games like Back for Blood, I think would just be perfect for that too.
Yeah, Alex was really impressive. Very impressive.
I remember when like I actually had to go, because I'm like a state away from where my cousin lives, and I was like, damn it, like I still want to play. It's so much fun. So yeah, VR is addicting as hell though.
Cool.
Well, I think since Back for Blood is like multiplayer co-op, unless you just want to play the single player, either more people need to have like the VR headset, or it needs to be cross-platform for it to work out.
Yeah, that sounds like that'd be very hard.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, speaking of multiplayer, is this game cross-platform?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bro, that's something we could look up. Why are you asking him?
No worries.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we can't look up on Google.
Who cares about looking things up if you have the source right here in the stream? So
what is it? We're just wasting time.
Quit
God damn it!
No, I think. Look, I think for the people in the chat, people in the chat watching, I think it's a good question.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you for being so nice, Words.
Yeah, wait till the stream's over, buddy.
No, because I've been talking to Kai and all the others in the LGL team. Like, what game are we gonna play in this channel? That's like us. Like, I want like cross-platform games, because those are the ones we can all play. And I think we can mark this one on the list.
Totally. Yeah, you get an in-game name and everything, and you can add like your own in-game kind of friends type of thing. And any platform.
And I think, correct.
It's automatic. It's not like, you have to register on our website for a thing. It's like, here you go. Go play.
No, that's good.
Yeah, you don't need to have like any sort of third-party account, I don't think.
And correct me if I'm wrong,
because I've been wanting another cross-platform game instead of Fortnite. Kind of like that.
Here's another runner question: does this game have graphics?
It has some graphics. We have the pixels.
It's only got 2 though, 2 pixels. No,
Come on, it wasn't that dumb of a question. For fuck's sake.
He
No,
said they
no.
have a lot of triangles. Who knows what that means? But stay tuned.
And like I was trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think from a business standpoint at this point, like I think every game, maybe not every game, but every multiplayer game that comes out from this point probably should look at doing cross-platform because, like, you asked Soul Assassin says so it's on Xbox. Yes, it is. And I'll tell everybody now because I want you to try this game because I think for those of you who are skeptical about it, like, yeah, it has its issues, but you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. If you have Game Pass, you could download it. You could play it in the next hour if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I think. No, go ahead.
No. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I think at this point it's imperative to have that and that crossplay and the ability to do that in a game that, like, is essentially the spiritual successor to what came before it. Like, we all have our things. Like, I like Xbox, some people like PlayStation. Like, I have it all. That's but me. Yeah, right, exactly, right. So it's just one of those things that, like, we could be like, hey, runner, man, you ready to slay some zombies, dude? All right, yeah, let's do it. Boom. And one thing I will say in the menu that kind of drives me nuts is when you go to set up a game, every time you load into the game, you have to set your preferences. If you don't want other players added into the game, you actually have to turn your preferences on for a solo play, basically, so you don't get those other people. And it doesn't save that. That would be one thing I could be like, if I could just set my preferences and not have to worry about hitting that preferences button every time I go to create a run, that would be better because I'll forget, right? I'll go in there, I'll create a game, and then I got all these people that I don't want to play with in the game, and then it's like, I'm gonna back out and do that again. But just that's something that's so small that it's really like, okay, I just got to remember to do that. But
yeah, I never noticed that. That's important though. I go into those preferences to, personally, I always switch it to my voice preference mic, because I want people to be talking to me. This is right. Where communication is very important. So
yeah.
So yeah,
just something to think about, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And then one more question too. One thing that, like, a lot of people that I've played with have brought up is the ability to take your attachments off weapons and then put them on newer weapons where you can't do that currently. And as somebody who designs the guns, I don't know if you have any insight on that, or is that something that, because I know when we were doing the beta, we spent a lot of time, sending those reports. Like, we would like the ability to take those attachments that we spent the copper on and maybe put it onto something else.
Oh yeah,
right? Where you
speaking as a player?
Yeah. Speaking as a player, it's like, is that something you guys have thought about doing? The ability to take those attachments off and put them on other guns?
Oh yeah, totally. I was gonna say, if it were me speaking, it is me.
Oh,
right
gotcha.
As a player, I totally agree.
Okay, all right, cool.
It's a design call early on. It's been very, we've been vocal about it. Some people have been vocal about wanting to be able to do the same thing, and I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to say this because it's on the public Trello board. If not, I didn't say it, and you guys can delete this video. No, I'm just kidding. They've got a public Trello board about issues that are currently being tracked and stuff like that, and that's of course one of the issues that a lot of people are vocal about. And I think it is going to be addressed, and it has been talked about on that Trello board in some way, shape, or form. I'm not even sure how 100% they're doing it yet, or how much it says on the Trello board, but. Yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest criticisms.
Okay,
and
cool.
People would want. I totally agree.
Right.
Let me take that high zoom scope off that shotgun, please.
Yeah. Well, and that would even be okay. Like you said, from a player standpoint, I'd even be okay with, like, those attachments costing a little bit more, like, in-game currency copper. Just to kind of offset that in a sense, like, because things aren't necessarily expensive. You do have to think about, what am I going to spend my copper on? All right, who's going to get this team buff? Who's buying this attachment? Oh, hey, I got this attachment. Do you need this instead? Is it going to work better for you? Like, I like that sort of thing. But if we had that ability, to swap those out, even if it did cost a little bit more in-game currency, like, I can see that working out. But I don't know shit about the development of games. I'm just, as from a player standpoint.
Well, real quick, hey Kashik.
What's up, babe?
Hey, Amber.
That's my fiance. Big supporter. So.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, she's full of love too.
For sure. Yeah, that's right. You got you got to meet her out in Vegas. That's right.
Mm-hmm. She
that's
says
right.
I'm a good hugger. That's true. But as from a design perspective, I think that the whole attachments thing might be a system unto itself, because not all attachments would be universal. And so, like with Fortnite, they have the whole system, like certain, or is it Fortnite, Apex, like all those ones where they have an attachment system. It's a whole system. Certain ones work with certain weapons, certain ones don't.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Fortnite's an upgrade. Like you would just upgrade that
it'd be
thing.
an
There's
upgrade.
yeah,
Okay,
there's
yeah,
no
sorry.
attachments or anything.
Apex definitely has it
How
that way.
how
where
dare you compare Back for Blood? I'm just
well, Apex, in Apex they have that. They have like different scopes work for different things, different clips, extensions, different kinds of ammo, but it's a whole thing unto itself. And so it's in terms of development, that would be development time committed to creating the system. So that would have probably put the release at like March or something,
Oh yeah.
depending on
I mean, the game
how
would
much
have, if it
programming
were up
goes
to
into
just
that.
us, the game would never been done. We could polish it forever and continue to.
Mhm.
Turtle Rock's insanely iterative, in a good way. I mean, we iterated a lot on this game. I mean, even we did have a small pushback as well, just to continue to kind of polish on things and get them as good as possible to get it out the door in time and everything. But
so you notice he
You aim for
preferenced
what
by.
you do, and then you try to make it the best you can.
I'll say you
Right.
notice he preferenced his comment by saying as a player. No, I totally get it, because the development of stuff is like, I mean, especially nowadays with all the controversy with the release of Cyberpunk and comparing to, like, you could probably spend another year polishing that game and adding more stuff. I mean, because I'm guessing,
Totally.
and I'm guessing it's one of those things where, like, okay, we're getting ready for release, and then somebody goes, "Oh, I have an idea. I think this would be great." Even now, I'm sure you guys are sitting there as the game's out and people are playing it. You're like, "Man, what if we did this? What if we added this to it?" You know what I mean? It's yeah. Go on.
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
once you get to the end of development and you're getting close to the end, the programmer's sitting there working. Someone walks into the office. I was wondering, get out, get out.
Yeah. Put it in the suggestion box and leave.
I don't care what you're wondering.
Yeah, it's very true though. I mean, and through so pretty much all of the production of the game, everyone's got a voice of the studio. It doesn't matter what you're working on. If you've got an opinion on something else, whether or not you work on that specific thing in the game, let it be said, and it will be listened to. It will be taken into some sort of consideration. But definitely towards that last few months, whatever, in that last year, you see a lot more of our production team getting stringent, be like, nope, no more of this, no more of that. We have a game to ship. So it's like, but yeah, as devs could iterate on it forever. These projects, especially when it's a fresh project like this, it kind of becomes your baby. So it's kind of crazy. You just want to change it and make it grow and better forever. But hopefully that's what the future's for.
Yeah, and nice job
Whatever you want.
Yeah, and nice job fixing the bots, because from beta, man, I will say the bots were rough. I forget which stage it was, but it's the one where you got to load the shells up, and I end up getting like we complete it, right, and then all the bots go into the truck, and then I get knocked down, and I'm waiting for the bots to come get me, and I'm like, come on, bots, come get me. But I will say this: the bots are much better since the previous games and stuff like that. Like even in the beta. You can play the game with the bots. I don't think it's out of the realm of like, oh, the bots will heal you. They'll get you up at this point. Like, so nice job on getting the bots squared away, because cool. As a person who I don't like playing with people I don't really know. I don't know, people, anxiety. I don't know. Anyway,
it's not always great.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
What you're saying, or is about the bots? I think the Left 4 Dead bots are worse than random people joining your game. Then the bot's like, "Oh yeah, health pack. I'm gonna use it. Restore 10 health."
Yeah, no, and that was, and that's kind of my point. It's like I think they were pretty bad in beta, but overall, not only improved on the original concepts that were put out, but improved from the beta. And now I can actually trust the bots to heal me, pick me up, do what they got to do to.
Free you most of the time.
Right, it actually kills zombies, so which is nice.
Cool.
So, nice job, guys.
Glad it showed. Yeah, that was definitely one of the biggest initiatives between beta and launch. It's like,
okay, I could tell. I could tell.
I mean, it was pretty clear they need a lot of work, and that those those pre-alphas are open, the betas and alphas and all that stuff, the closed tests and then the open tests, those like sneak up like crazy. It's amazing. I've actually never worked on a project where we had like a double set of playable kind of betas like that before, so it was pretty crazy to see it all go down. And man, it's an all hands on deck kind of thing, like everybody let's get this working. And it actually kind of ends up being a lot of extra work to get those put together, because you have to kind of cut stuff out of the game and make sure whatever this isn't in the build, and people aren't supposed to see this stuff that it's in the beta but it's in the full game, so it adds like a lot of extra time. But
I was gonna say
it paid off.
You still have to make all that and implement it and test it.
Right. I honestly thought that you guys would push the release back a little bit because of knowing and understanding like how much work that is to get an AI up to snuff as opposed to what it was before, So I honestly thought you guys were going to push it out, but you didn't, and you guys did a good job, man. And here's the thing too. I think the criticism that people gave through the beta, and I'm talking about the people who are like, well, I'm not going to get the game because this, that, and the other. Well, it's a beta, man. The idea is to that's why they have a reporting system. Hey, by the way, this is what's going on with your game. Not like this isn't a full on, example of what the game's going to be. So the people who decided not to purchase the game because of the beta, to me, is a little bit ridiculous. Now, wait a few weeks to see what people are saying, and I think at this point, like I think Soul Assassin said it, he says looking at all the videos on YouTube, this game is popular. I think once people started playing the game and once people saying, hey, this game's actually a lot different than the beta, there's a lot of good things to offer in this game, I think people are starting to catch on to it, and that makes me happy because like again, Left 4 Dead changed the game for me, right? Like that was like that blew my mind back in the day. Like holy crap, like I love zombies. I could go through and slay hordes of zombies, and now I've not only got an updated a version of that, but it's added new textures to it, new things to it. We've got the card system, we've got like all these replayable things with the game. So if you guys are hesitant about this game, just try it. Like Steam has if you don't like it, you can return it to Steam. If you got it from Game Pass,
right? Mark, I've learned that the hard way.
yeah, exactly.
As far as I'm aware, there are no characters with a mohawk. So until there is one,
you guys should introduce a stoner character. That's all I'm saying. Just the guy, just like his movement speed is slow, and he's got some things going on. Like maybe he doesn't have the best accuracy, but a stoner character, I think, would be
my speed can be fast because it's in the name, runner.
But you can only carry light weapons.
Yeah. And you heal yourself with joints or something. I don't know.
Stoner and the mohawk guy constantly make cracks about how all the guns are heavier than you.
Oh man, that's great.
I'm not that light.
I could probably throw you pretty far, man.
Yeah, we know you're not.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I've been working.
Well, like guns, some guns get to 50, 60 pounds. Like obviously, we know you're not a 50, 60 pound human being.
Let's be honest here.
No, but I'm not as light as you may. I don't know.
Oh my god, runner.
Let's be honest. The true test of manhood here is how far you can get in Back 4 Blood by yourself. That's the true test of manhood here. Okay.
Okay. There you
Yeah.
go.
Because until you've been through Act 3 and 4, baby, you don't understand. Okay.
Ironically, just the other night I was playing on Xbox and just playing with randoms, and I got about halfway through Act 2. And we started struggling, and people started leaving after the first. I'm like, come on, we still have another shot. So, one of those kind of stories. And then sure enough, I end up playing the second half of Act 2 down to my last continue with bots and ended up doing like way better and finished the rest of Act 2 that night. So it's just like, okay.
More continues would be good. I am saying more continues would be good.
Yeah, they got pretty sparingly. I think it's
It's not even a card you can get. The one up.
I was going to say, yeah, maybe add a card down the road.
Oh, that would be a cool card. Yeah, not just lives, but a full blown continue or something. Make it like
or
something. I don't know. Yeah, that's good.
And you drop the bong immediately after healing. Like, oh man.
There may or may not be a cannabis leaf on one of the weapon skins. I'll let you guys try to find it.
Oh,
Any,
You guys use the texture for the trees.
anytime you
I'm gonna load this
mention-
game up right now.
anytime you mention anything about weed or stoner or whatever, or Ords is like
What?
he's
What
like
I do?
all about it.
What I do now?
He can't go without a day without talking about that.
Actually,
Serious.
Runner,
I
how much do
mean-
you weigh?
Probably like 180 to 70 to 80 pounds.
I thought we're talking about weed, not runner. What the hell happened?
170? You really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
I'm
I
a bit
guess this
heavier
would
than I
only be a
look.
third of your weight. I thought it was going to be half, but I guess it's about a third of your weight.
A 60-pound gun, I think, is something that you would have to mount. I don't think you. Yeah, this isn't Rambo, man. It's not Rambo. You can't just carry a
Well, it's
60-pound.
not Rambo because it's Runner.
Oh,
But if it was Rambo,
yeah.
he could carry a 60-pound gun. He'd be twirling it. Boom, boom, boom. He'd be doing tricks. He'd do his both in the air, catching him.
Frank in the chat. Look at his comment. My dude. Sorry.
Dude, we need to make that I'm going to make that a shirt. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, there you
Draw
go.
the
There you go.
leaf. We're just at the stem of the leaf. We're on the inside.
There you go. There you go. I love it. I love it. Now you got me curious about this. Good call on that, and I like that, man. The little Easter egg. I like that. I'm gonna be doing a 4-hour stream just looking for it.
It's actually
just full attention.
You probably wouldn't be able to physically see it until you unlocked the skin. Now that I think about it, and you can see it in hand. It's too small to see in the armory where you've got the guns spinning around.
I forget the name of the quest, but it's in Act 2. We found a great place to farm supply line points, which is I think it's the stretch where you're fighting the ogre. You can get the mounted gun and you have to fight the ogre, and it's a very short level, but you can. Which, by the way, you can use the grenades. Everybody equips grenades and just run like hell, throw grenades, kill the ogre, run right through it, and get to the safe house. And you get I think if you complete all the added stuff, it's the max 44 points. But if you just do the run, it's 34. So we did that. We did a stream where it was just 4 hours of us just running that run, getting supply line points. So I'm gonna look for it.
Right on. I mean, I could just tell you, but if you want me to keep it a secret, that's fine.
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me, man. I want to spend some more time with the game, so I think that'll be fun, man. And when I find it, I'll find you on social media and tag you. Be like, I found it.
Please do.
All right, cool.
Dude, I love the premise for Back for Buds. Different weed types give you different upgrades.
All right, we're talking about a totally different game. All right, now we're talking about a totally different game.
The kind of game that you want to play. Or I'm just kidding.
I would play the shit out of that game. Okay, I'm just saying.
Maybe you can develop your own game words.
We'll talk, Brad. We'll talk.
Ideas.
I'll just throw out ideas. You guys make it all happen.
For sure.
You guys did a great job with Back for Blood, though. It's even in the beginning, it felt what's it called? Not even in the beginning. As the game is loading, it feels different. I feel everything. It's it's calibrating for me, and then once I jump into the game, it already felt different than the Left 4 Dead games. It had its own identity, its own energy, yeah, man.
That's a good point because I have compared Back 4 Blood to Left 4 Dead in a sense, but they are different. They're different games by. Yes, there are elements, but this is not Left 4 Dead. This is Back 4 Blood, and there are the pacing of the game. I think is important to note too that. It doesn't feel like anything's rushed. It feels like everything is kind of where it's supposed to be. Like the cards that you get to, the weapons that you get, or the increase in the what's the word I'm looking for? The effectiveness of the weapons. Everything seems to be very paced well throughout the game.
Yeah, totally. I'm glad it works. The design team iterates on that like crazy. So yeah, literally everything you see is some sort of thought behind it. Why are these guns purple in this part of the game as opposed to, as we continue to ramp up the difficulty of the game, you ramp up the badassness of the weapons or the hardness of the enemies,
right?
And whatnot, but it's all thought up, and there's so many little billions of details to think about. And Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't necessarily want like just these all powerful guns that are going to destroy every enemy right down. Like, I want to have to think about it. Like, and I think this game does a good job of that. Like, planning with your team. Like, okay, we're going to take out this person first. Well, you're over here. Like it's, especially in Act 4, man. I mean, even though you've got once you finally get to that final part of Act 4, you have that main boss, but it's not just that. Everybody has a role in the game, and each character shows that, whether you have a melee person who's healing themselves as they melee through to kind of clear things up a little bit, or as you have your distance guy who maybe not be able to take a lot of hits but can do some serious damage with the snipers, which I'll give you that too. The snipers actually again do damage, which is nice. Like they're very helpful in the game. So that was kind of like, oh shit, like, and this is how it's a different game than Left 4 Dead, because like I said, they didn't mean anything, but in here, like the big guns, like they mean something, but again, the pacing is good with like how well those guns do in later game. So
cool. Yeah, it wasn't easy. A lot of iteration into the design of the guns in terms of the numbers and stuff. And it seems pretty cool that you can just jump right into the firing range too at the beginning of the game and see what those numbers are, like right there in front of your face with the little popcorn numbers on the enemies when you shoot them. So you can see that, while the Scar might throw down 13 points of damage for one round hitting, boom, this Barrett's throwing down 111 or whatever it is. I don't know if that's what they are, but
right.
Stats and stuff too. It's not just guns, like pick up a gun and go. It's like they have their stats and their effectiveness.
Yeah, try to make each one
Yep.
unique, and I think
it.
they nailed it. A lot of thought putting in to try to make each one unique, because that gets harder to do when you add a lot more than was originally there.
But everything has a purpose, and nothing is wasted, right? Nothing's created just to have it in the game.
Pretty much, yeah. It's got a purpose. So, it had some sort of thought behind it in the first place. Yeah.
Yep. And it makes for great gameplay, man.
Cool.
Any questions from the audience?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good question. How's the audience doing out there? Gilkman wants to see Brad on Horde's channel.
Maybe we'll talk to him about maybe when there's an update or something. I don't want to take we love like Gaming Lounge. I don't want to take anything away from these boys. These guys have worked hard, and that's I respect them for it. So,
well, I mean, like Brad's my buddy. If Brad wants to play with you over there and then or do something,
that would be fun.
Up to Brad, Brad's his own man.
I mean, you're technically a part of LGL. You just don't show up as much.
Yeah, well, kids, family, and plus I hate you. So no, just kidding.
That was good.
I love you.
That was funny.
So
I was gonna say that's why I haven't streamed with Thords in a long time. He hates me. It all makes sense.
Now I just been building the Twitch, man. We've been doing good over the Twitch, and a big shout out to Brad and his crew, because man, we've got a lot of followers off of Back 4 Blood, so I can't be mad at that. So.
Excellent, very good.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. People like it.
Well, and again, just going back to that, I think people were just like, Left 4 Dead's better. Like, did you play the game? Did you try it? Because if you like that, I think you're gonna like this. It's literally like, again, not the same thing, but it's very similar to that, but with more in it. Like there's more thought behind it. There's
depth.
Yes, thank you. That's the word. Yes, more depth. Yes, correct. More depth. So
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your rant. Go on.
No, I'm just saying, like it almost pisses me off, like when people are just like they just toss to the wayside. It's like, I've got Left 4 Dead. Yes, we love Left 4 Dead. Yes, trust me. Like I sat here and talked about how it changed the game of first person shooters. But why would you not want that wrapped in this beautiful HD goodness with more depth in it? You can design your characters. We're there before. You just had a character, you got a weapon, and you ran. No, you can literally play a character the way you want. You can, yes, each character kind of has their thing. You've got the medic, you've got the sniper guy with the hat and everything. You got all that stuff. But with the card system, you can really customize that character in your own way. So if you want a guy who can shoot snipers, but also have like a SMG on his side, you can make that happen. Like there's just the possibilities are almost endless at this point. Not to mention when you guys add more cards down the road, it's like there's going to be even more possibilities. So,
I think even more than what Will Soul Assassin saying here, you got to add something new to stand out. it's not just that. It's like with the Left 4 Dead games, it kind of felt like Left 4 Dead 2 was just the same thing again, just
Just with
different
some
characters,
like
different
with melee
map,
weapons.
Yeah, a
doing
little
it
bit
again.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit more. But like this was actually a big iterative step towards evolving what that kind of a game could be.
That concept, right?
Mhm. And
I mean,
and
because
really expanding on the play on the gameplay itself. Like you were saying, you're not just this person or that person. Like I wanted to be the gym teacher. I guess I'm the runner instead.
I would never pick the runner character. Just saying.
I wouldn't pick him either.
But like I mean, you look at all the zombie franchises, Dead Rising, right? They offered something a little bit different. They offered something that was, Dead Island, also something that's very different compared to what else was going on. And then this Back for Blood is different than all those other zombie games, right? So if you appreciate zombie games, this just adds layers and texture to it and depth, like Kai said, depth to it. So I don't. Do I have to sell the game anymore to you guys? I mean, seriously.
It really is a freaking great game. I still
Appreciate
got
it,
it.
guys.
Like right around the same time, like 2 or 3 friends had games drop, and so I haven't got to play everything yet. But I have got to play Back for Blood, which is nice. Once I get to play
haven't
the other game, I'll see about having my friend.
I haven't gotten to play it
Well, I
yet,
know
so
what
that's
that'll
why
be.
I'm not asking these in-depth questions like Words was. So I'm excited to check it out, man.
Do you have any general like game development questions for like a 3D modeler or anything?
I guess
For
I
someone
guess
who talks to other departments.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I guess a basic ass question can be like, what kind of got you into the industry? What kind of got you into the career and stuff?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly how is it. I mean, like everybody who typically works in the video games, or like a lot of people, they say they grew up playing video games and continue to do so even into our older ages. I'd always been into kind of like art, so kind of doing the whole
Yeah.
going to school to learn to draw better and become a drawer or just some sort of video game artist. So it was definitely kind of what I felt like I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Fortunately, had the support to move away to a few cities over and do that whole art college thing. And it turns out I'll never want to draw ever again, but I do like doing the whole 3D thing.
That's what I plan on majoring in, is like the fine arts stuff like that. Cause like, it's funny. So this year I signed up for like 4 classes, right? And for some damn reason, the first day I get to school, I'm not in like the attendance for this class. So I go to the office. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's like, you're not registered. I'm like, what are you talking about? I talked to an advisor about all this. So I got some of the classes I wanted, but I didn't get the drawing class that I got. So I have to take that a different semester. So yeah, because
Stuff with
I
all the boring crap this semester.
it's whatever. It's a little bit chill, but no, because I used to draw back in middle school. I don't talk about this very much, but and I plan on getting back into it.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of the art colleges will typically kind of push you through a lot of the fundamentals, and that's definitely where I learned that I was tired of drawing and don't want to do that anymore. There's a couple teachers that just kind of made me realize that, okay, I'm done drawing. I don't know, I can't do this. And then you learn other aspects of the art pipeline, and it's not all just concept art. You got a lot of people needing to make 3D models and then rig the 3D models, give them a skeleton, and then people that just animate them and make them move and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, a lot of different facets that if you're into any sort of creative, stuff, you can look into making stuff for games.
I guess another thing is like, just this is like more for the audience. Like, if you're like interested in all this stuff, like what's a good starting point? Because for me, well, I took a class senior year. It was a video game development class. It was in the business department of the high school I went to, and I was testing out what's that website called, Game Maker Studio 2 or something like that. Kai knows what I'm talking about. I talked about it with him. So like, I would have to do these assignments like, hey, do this. This is the coding you have to do for this and that, and all. It's really cool. you know, what you had to do and all that. So like, you know, is there like another like way of starting, you know,
Yeah, I mean, there's
or
definitely a few ways, and I think depending on what you may or may not be interested in at the time can decide on how you start heading that up. You know, if you're just kind of like, man, I love games, but I'm not sure what aspect I would, fit into to
yeah,
go and actually make them, then starting out at kind of those schools that give you kind of a little bit of everything at the beginning might do that. I mean, there's just always the internet too. There's like a lot of discussion boards online if you're an artist, or I imagine similar things if you're into coding and stuff. Lots of forums and stuff like that to learn about just the stuff from other people that do it. But yeah, I mean, as an artist, from the art side of things, it's definitely not like a requirement these days anymore to go to school for this stuff. Anyone can download these tools. Anyone can find these tools and start using them and learning them, and getting proficient at them, and
yeah.
build
There's
a
a lot of tutorials
portfolio.
online.
Yeah, so many tutorials.
Oh my God, yes.
So
I would have to watch that stuff,
I'm
you know, for class, because I mean, our teachers like gave us like the videos to like watch in order to like actually like help us with the assignments and stuff. But yeah, because you're right, like a lot of this stuff, like a lot of these programs are like now like free, like they're free for anyone to use if they
yeah.
want to like create something.
Blender's a big one now that a lot of
Yeah,
people, 3D art people are using. I
Mm.
believe that one's totally free just to use, and that's used in games today. So
yeah.
I
tried
want to pick
testing
it up.
Blender, but my computer, I don't know, can't run that.
Oh yeah.
I'm using I got a plugin for Unreal that I was like, okay, well, let's see how I can get working with this plugin. Pulled up YouTube, playlist of tutorials.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get started.
Yeah.
Man, you mean I see I actually have to do shit then though. I'd just rather have Brad make it and then I'll just buy it from
Play it.
him and then play it. I'm just saying maybe it's the stoner of me. I don't know.
No, it's the laziness in you. It's okay.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. I can admit that. I'm not above admitting that, man.
Hey, it's fine. You don't have to mention your stoner
Hey,
addiction too much.
At
Just
least
say you're
I'm
lazy.
well. At least I'm not as lazy as your internet. So there's that.
It's not as bad anymore as they used to.
No, that's true.
Yeah, I
That's
think
true.
your
Way
computer
better.
just needed a restart because you've been
Yeah.
good since you came back.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Good, maybe not the best. reviews.
No, Kai's
Well-
right, because I got a new router thing that we got, and it's
Did you get the Nighthawk?
much better.
Did you get the
No.
Nighthawk, bro? Come on, man. You got to get the Nighthawk, bro. That's
No.
where it's at. Anyway, this
No,
kid.
I got
Most
the latest
metal
thing
sounding
from Xfinity
router.
Internet. That's what I got. It's good. It's good internet, man. It's good shit.
I just like busted his chops, man.
Yeah.
He's like my little brother and shit.
Yeah, this is why I miss you, Wards. We gotta like stream more.
I haven't heard a good shut up runner in a long time. So,
Me neither.
or did achievement burn
achievement
10
burn 10 zombies. Runner achievement evade zombies.
I like it, man. I like it.
It's good shit.
That's great. And yeah, I didn't realize earlier. Was it the Gilkman that pointed out that the thing has expired? I didn't even notice that the Pokemon code has expired. I was like, I saw it yesterday. I was like, oh, cool. I'll share that on the show tomorrow.
I was literally just about to pull. Look, I was literally about to pull my
I
Switch
forgot
up,
about
Kai,
that shit.
and put that in, okay? And then now I can't
I was gonna
text.
do
Way
it
to
too
go.
after the show. I was gonna do it too.
Way to go.
Maybe you should stop. Maybe you should smoke less weed and I don't know, get to it faster.
What?
I don't know.
No,
Blasphemy!
that has to do with it.
Blasphemy!
Yeah.
Shame on you, runner. Bad runner. Shut up, runner.
There you
Where
go.
would we get our powers from? It's like when vegans stop being vegan, like they lose their magic. You know, we all seen that on
No,
Scott Pilgrim.
I made that terrible joke because it makes you slow.
It makes me slow, bro. I'm a champion, bro. I'm a champ. All right,
Oh,
I'm
okay,
good.
I'm
good, bro. I'm
okay,
good.
live your dreams, little boy.
That's my dude. I will live my dreams, baby. Playing Back for Blood and getting baked. I love it. Woo! I love it, man.
Back for
So-
baked blood.
If no one's got any achievements, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I think we could wrap it up now. We've had Brad here for a whole hour and a half. Thanks
I
for
can't believe my
hanging
kid's
out
still
with us,
asleep.
man.
It's cool. She must have known something was going on and wanted me to hang out and talk with you guys as long as I can.
But yeah,
Just
no,
hear your voice. As soon as you stop talking, she's gonna wake up. She's like, "That's
Right.
not sitting here talking no more."
yeah, that's that background noise. But no, man, I think you guys have put together a great game. I think that I'm very excited to see what you guys have coming down the pipeline. What is it? The monthly thing you can get? There's like a battle. It's like a battle pass or something like that. I haven't really looked into that, but hopefully you guys bring some really good stuff to that. Maybe some specific cards that you're not going to get anywhere else other than through that or whatever. But very excited to see more of the synergy with the cards. And like I said, I've got one specific buddy. Shout out to Biggles Mets. He was like, yeah, I'm not going to spend the money on that game. Yeah. And then I was like, dude, you can get it on Game Pass. He's like, I got Game Pass. So he was so apprehensive about the game. He downloaded it. And like, I'll go on Twitch and find that he's streaming the game. And he's just like, he hasn't put the damn game down. And I'm just like, well, there you go, man. See, if you would have just think about it. If you would have spent the 60 on it, you would. I swear he's probably got like 70 hours in the game. And it's like,
it would have been nice to have him on here this week.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be in touch with Brad. We'll talk with him. But just so you know, there are people out there who were not interested, but now can't put the game down. So I think that says a lot to what you guys are doing. And especially with game releases that we get, I'm not going to mention any names, Blizzard and people like that, but getting games that aren't what was sold to us. I think you guys did a good job of putting your game out, communicating with the people who are interested in the game and people who want to know more about the game. And that's worth its weight in gold these days in the video game market. So just stay the course and keep adding content to it and keep listening to people. And I mean, you guys have already developed a great game. And I look forward to the future, man. So thank you for taking the time to hang out with us, Brad. Seriously, man, I know you're a busy guy and I know it's not easy being a developer because they work you guys like dogs. But hopefully they did something good for you. Hopefully they gave you guys a good like release party and took care of you guys. And I hope that, they give you guys bonuses because you deserve it because in this day and age, yeah, and this day and age, man, to get a game that's actually put together when it releases is kudos to you guys, man.
Oh yeah, the last year and a half with the pandemic stuff. I mean, they say it a lot, but it really was freaking nuts. It was what a crazy thing to just be working with these people every day, making a video game for how long. I know I was at the studio for a couple of years before we started working on that. And then to have to just be home and only do it from there, and the IT teams and stuff like that have to come together, and the rest of the leadership that have to come together to get that stuff to work out. It's an insane amount of work. So it really.
Well, I hope that working from home was that you were able to spend a little more time with your family, man. That's important too. So
it was pretty dope. My first child was born during the last year of development, so to be able to be here, like working on games all day, but also be able to see my little girl as she grows up for the first year of her life was pretty special.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man, cool. and maybe that contributed to your guys' ability to get stuff done. And hey, I would look forward to the future, man.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Well, see, I wish my lockdown experience was somewhat more positive.
Well, maybe if you were developing a kick-ass game runner, I don't know. I'm just saying.
So you could have popped out a baby or made a game. You didn't either.
I would have loved to do all that, but that wasn't going to help me pass senior year. So,
especially the baby.
Hey, right, real quick, can you bring up Soul Assassin's comment because I think this is also an important part of it. Not to get to the next one.
All right, let's just look at that one real quick.
Thank you, Soul.
Thumbs up. With all the nonsense in the world, a zombie game would make a great escape. That's true.
With everything going on in the world, that's what we need, man. Yeah, with all the political stuff, with all the COVID stuff, all that crap, like we need an escape, and I think this game brings it. So
we need good entertainment, good escapism. Yeah,
and I think everyone being cooped up kind of makes everyone want to go out on a murdering spree, and so zombies are perfect because just get all that, get it out on the zombies. Get it out on the zombies. Don't go strangling your mom like that one story was yesterday at ETEPS. Florida man strangled his stepmom.
Oh no, Florida.
Like 10 years
yeah, right. Yeah, you just all you had to say was you didn't have to say guy. You just Florida. There it is.
Florida. Something happened in Florida. It makes you a little depressed about it.
But seriously, you could do that. You could say something happened in Florida, and then just say the craziest shit you could think of, and it probably happened in Florida.
We need more video games in
Without
Florida.
that.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us, Frank the Bunny, Soul Assassin, Gilkman, who else? Kashi Queen,
Frank the Bunny.
Darius. Oh,
Low
I didn't
spec
do Darius.
Linux
That was a while
laptop.
ago.
What's up,
Yeah,
Darius?
Brad State. Everybody, thank you very much, Low Spec.
Sherry,
It's been a blast, Sherry. I miss Sherry. I was looking for. I was like, there's a
Apollo.
name I'm missing.
Apollo Patriot, Metal Runner. I like that guy.
No, but
Really?
he's the only,
Oh.
you're the only one.
Yeah.
That's the one that matters most. Now we love your honor,
I know.
but I'm glad you got to. Your internet didn't just shit you out, and so you couldn't hang out.
No, I know. I was
Um,
worried. Like of all days, like this has to be like the stream where, or this has to be the day that my internet sucks, and we're having like a guest on. It's I don't
Sorry,
know.
I'm just standing outside your
No, it
house with
worked
a
out.
magnet. I'm just-
What a dick.
Worked out. It was really
He
good to meet
doesn't.
you guys.
It's scary because he doesn't. Ords doesn't live too far from.
yeah. What were you saying, Brad? Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, no worries. I just said it all worked out, Metal. It was good to meet you guys and good
Yeah.
to meet my buddy
Yeah.
Kai again for a little bit.
For sure, man. Yeah, Kai's all
Yeah,
right, I
if
guess.
you want to hang
Yeah.
out backstage for a minute before the kid wakes up, I'm gonna end the show, but we usually hang out for a quick second, But
Sounds good.
thanks everyone for hanging out. It's been fun. I hope you've enjoyed this and gotten some insight from it on the game development side. And go check out Back for Blood, available on Steam, on Xbox, is it on all the things? It's on
Everything
all the
but
things,
Nintendo,
right?
I think. Yeah.
Everything except Nintendo?
That part I looked up.
Until next week or next year. I mean, until next year, they'll have you guys working on a port. And then
We'll see you guys next week for Le Gaming Lounge. Take care. Have a great weekend. Thanks again, Brad. And
Absolutely. Thank you
take
guys.
care, everyone.
Thank you.